So I think we're coming almost to the end of our general session. And I get to do something really special. Jim said that we don't get an opportunity to come up here a lot and say really nice things about each other. And I think everybody knows how we feel about one another. But I get to bring back our MC. I'm going to tell you a few things about him. When you hang out with Jamie, when you're with him, when you're talking business, when you're talking about life, when you're talking about family, when you're talking about giving back to your community, there is this sense of you are in the presence of an incredible human being. You're in the presence of a leader that you're like, man, I would follow you to the end of the earth. You are the kind of person from all perspectives that I want to be like, that I want my people to be like, that I want my kids to be like. So to close out our general session, our non-marshmallow eating MC, Jaime Hepp.
It's hard work, man. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I'm not done with the marshmallow. And I want somebody to record what Vera just said and play it back for my wife so she believes that that's true. She's thinking, no big whoop. So the marshmallow. I'm not done talking about the marshmallow now, and I'm going to talk about the marshmallow again tonight. You're going to be marshmallowed out by the weekend, by the time it's done. So I look at the marshmallow a lot like it's the what. You need discipline. And you've kind of heard a recurring theme here with John and with the other speakers that, there is nothing special about the head office or the head table. And let's just face it, there's great lifestyles behind you. I think we'd all like to spend a week with John Wiggins, wouldn't you guys? I would. So I want to just kind of wrap up this morning with the how. Because the what is, listen, you got to put the marshmallow on the side. And all of you on a daily basis are already doing that. You might not have heard the Stanford test, but you already know you're delaying gratification. You did on the first day that you started. You did when you got your first check. You've all bought into this to a certain degree. Now, can you still resist? So I just want to talk briefly about the how. Because the what, I think, is simple. The how, how do you stay disciplined? How do you delay in gratification? How do you power through tough days? It was 115 degrees in Phoenix yesterday. I'm like, how are the guys pounding through this type of weather? I'm like, oh yeah, it wasn't so long ago that I had to power through 115. This is tough. If you think about it, everything that you do in life is for one of two reasons. You either try to avoid pain or you try to gain pleasure. Everything you do. Now, a way that I look at it is I'm a donkey, okay? There's a couple different ways to motivate a donkey. You can crack a whip on the butt of that donkey, and that will make the donkey move. You can dangle a carrot in front of the donkey, and that will make the donkey move. If you can't put a carrot yourself in front of you, or you can't crack a whip behind you, you can outsource the motivation to an employer, and they'll probably do that for you. But if you want to be self-employed, you need to know, you better know what your sticks are, and you better know what your carrots are. And the more defined those get, the more successful you're going to be. I'll give you a couple examples of people that I think have done an outstanding job with sticks. Okay? Like, you can't just have one or the other. Like, oh, I'm not into negative motivation, I'm only into positive motivation. Oh, really? Well, what did Michael Jordan say? You guys all know the Michael Jordan story. We probably regurgitate it in every office. He got cut in what grade in basketball? In the 10th grade, he gets cut. He goes home after he gets cut from the basketball team. He's trying as hard as he can. He's 15 years old, whatever it is. To think about the best basketball player in the world at one point in time got cut in high school, it's just kind of weird to even think like that. He goes home, he's crying his eyes out, and he says, I never want to experience this feeling again. He asks the coach if he can practice with the team even though he's not on the team. And I'm going to make damn sure this doesn't happen next year. But he is negatively motivated, and obviously he was very successful. He was more negatively driven than positively driven. Jerry Rice, anybody here see the Hall of Fame speech when he was inducted in the Hall of Fame? So I was like, Jerry, so how did you do so well? I mean, how did you ran for so many touchdowns, you're the best, receiver ever in the NFL. And his answer, I ran out of fear. He says, there's a guy chasing me whose job is to make sure that I get destroyed. Okay, he's paid a lot of money to hunt me down like a lion chasing a cheetah, or a lion chasing maybe something else, maybe not a cheetah. I haven't gone to Africa, so with John. Impala, there we go, that's what I was looking for. But he was running out of fear. It's a funny speech. If you want to YouTube it, check it out. But I mean, he was crediting his success to all the safeties that were going to kick his butt all over the place. That was his drive. That was his motivation. If you think about it on a personal level, I mean, I've never experienced a layoff, and I never want to experience a layoff. I've never experienced foreclosure on a home. I've got friends and family that have, and man, that's an awful experience. That's a stick. That is a major stick. I don't want to have to go through that. Any arguments that I heard in my household growing up, there was a lack of funds. I said to myself as a little kid, listen, I don't want to be financially stuck. It's not all about money, but I certainly want a career where I can have options. But it was a negative driver. Here's a negative driver that probably a lot of the gentlemen in this room have, and I certainly had it. I don't want to meet Mrs. Right only for her to find out that I have nothing to offer. Ooh, that could hurt. Oh, you got a great personality. Oh, you're funny. You've got lots of charisma, but yeah, I don't want to date you anymore. But why? You have a difficult time taking care of yourself. How are you going to take care of a family? That was a negative driver. That was a motivator. At the time I meet Mrs. Right, I happened to be 28 when I met my Mrs. Right, I was primed. I was ready. Use your own imagination what that means. Right, okay. I didn't plan that. All right. Okay. Carrots. Let's talk a little bit of carrot action. Freedom of time and money. One of my favorite movies of all time, William Wallace, Braveheart. Freedom! I mean, I'm a freak like that too. I want freedom of time and money. I don't want to be told what to do or when to do it. And I want to have options. I want my kids to live in a nice neighborhood. I want my kids to go to good schools. I want freedom. I'm passionate about freedom. That's a big carrot. That's been a carrot when I had nothing. As a kid, I watched a movie called The Billionaire's Boys Club. And I'm sure none of you have ever seen it. It's not that popular. But there's a line in the movie that this, hotshot young company is walking an investor through, and the guy's like, wow, everybody's really young in this company. What's going on? And Judd Nelson, whoever the guy was, he's like, yeah, we only hire people that are 25 years of age or under. Because at the age of 25, that's when people trade their dreams in for security. And I remember as a kid when I heard that line, I'm like, is that what happens, Dad? People trade their dreams in for security? Like, I don't want that to happen. I want to dream. I want to dream. I want to have big things. I want to do great things. I want to travel. I mean, I think a lot of us are real travel ambitious. I hear the stories. I mean, listen, the Facebook story that I'm sure a lot of you guys have friended a good group here, there's, somebody's always traveling somewhere doing something cool. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I put as carrots. I want to go do real nice things. I want to do cool stuff. Think about the people that you can help. I was never a guy motivated on a fancy car. I mean, I'm real intrigued with, Michael with the Maserati and stuff like that. But I'm not a Maserati guy. But I've always been motivated on, the better I do in life, man, how many more people can I help? Like, I remember when I watched Schindler's List, and that movie struck a chord with me. Like, he could have done more, and he could have saved more lives. So I'm not quite that freak. I don't feel like I'm saving lives, but I can certainly help family. I need to be successful to help family, help friends. I want to be in a position of influence to do that. Those are big carrots. Here's a big carrot you can start thinking about. I mean, what's your song going to be when you walk to the stage? Started from the bottom, now I'm here. Started from the bottom, now we're all here. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Right, think about it. Get your song playing in your head. A lot of you guys, I mean, I keep picking different songs, but I've heard John with Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. I know, John, it probably fires you up. Where's John? Every time you hear it, it probably fires you up. It fires me up. I'm like, yeah. You know, Adam told me what the lyrics of that song meant a while back. I'm like, okay, that's a different story. But anyway, that's a driver. That's a carrot. But get in touch, you know, with yourself. Figure out what your hows are. Figure out your carrots. Figure out your sticks. Get the discipline. You put all of that together. You're in an industry, like I said, that, you know, there's demand. The laws of supply and demand are in your favor. Clients want you. Clients need you. And the reality is you got to bring something to the table. Think of the carrots. Think of the sticks. Think of the marshmallows, okay? So I'm going to give you a little insight to what's all going to happen next, okay? So as soon as this is done, these doors are going to open, and there's going to be a whole bunch of food sitting outside. So in a very cordial manner, we're going to grab our box lunches, and we're going to be going to our organizational breakouts, okay? So those will go on for about an hour and a half. After that, you've got campaign meetings that you're getting into. That's always fun. We're going to go through some campaign specifics. After that, you've got 2 hours of workshops going on. So that'll bring you till around 5, and then you're going to get a chance to breathe from around 5 till 6. So breathe, change, you know, freshen up, all that stuff. Then from 6 to 7 o'clock tonight, we've got cocktails going on. Okay, so you can grab yourself a drink. But at 7 o'clock sharp, that is when there are no more ticket sales. So don't get frustrated when the bartender says, I'm sorry, we're shutting her down because it's 7 o'clock on the nose. As soon as an alarm goes off, they're closing it. So last call, 6:55 type of thing. So we're all coming in here. My advice to you, when we're in here from 7 o'clock tonight, we'll be back in this room. It'll be nice round tables and stuff like that going on. It's going to be an evening awards ceremony. Our heavyweights are coming up in the evening to pick up big brass, big awards. And they're going to give great speeches, and everybody's going to wonder, like, okay, so what did you do, and all this other stuff. My advice, pay close attention to what they're saying. These are people that are doing the same thing you're doing. They're just getting some awards. They're on a roll. There's momentum happening. Pay attention, listen. I'm always baffled when I see somebody up on stage speaking, and there's a bunch of people kind of running around still trying to get drinks. It's like, why did you come to this conference? I didn't come to the conference to, you know, go to the best bar in Phoenix. I don't care what the best bar in Phoenix is. I came to meet people. I came to study. I came to be a nerd. I mean, Bill Gates, listen, he doesn't do big commencement speeches at universities. He talks to kindergarten kids, and he's got these little 11 tips, another thing you might want to Google. One of the things he says is you better be nice to nerds. Okay? This is what he tells 5-year-olds. Be nice to nerds, because you're going to work for one day. The nerds here tonight are going to be our next owners. The party kids are going to be the cool kids. They'll still be going in the field applauding next year for the next year's award winners. Okay, so be nerdy tonight. Pay close attention. Because, again, I know some of these speakers coming up, they're going to do an amazing job. When that's all done, try to swarm the consultants. Get in their face. Learn a few more things. Like, hey, you said something to me today, John, that really struck a chord. I'm real curious. Okay, so that's what's going on today. Enjoy. We're a little bit ahead of schedule. You've got about an hour and a half to 2 hours with these org lunches. Grab all your stuff. And my last message to you is just respect the hotel. There are other guests here at the hotel. You know, we're known everywhere we go. People are so kind and cordial. We always dig with the staff. Like, hey, what did you think of Sidcor? What did you think of us? And they're always like, you guys are great. You guys look good. You're obviously the best looking group that we've ever had. You know, we hear a lot of that stuff. You're young, you're energetic, but you're so respectful. You're the type of people that open doors and stuff like that. So let's keep that reputation that hotels love us, and let's be real kind to the staff tonight. Have yourself a great day. We'll see you guys later on tonight.